So I literally was about to say good morning, everybody, but that is not the case today. Today is a little later. I added some stuff to the process here. I hope you like it. I hope it comes out well. I guess we're going to find out, but I appreciate you being here. Welcome to the Better Today, Better Tomorrow broadcast slash videocast slash audicast. I just want you to come in here and just hopefully get a great word that you can use throughout your day, maybe another day. Maybe you'll get something, you'll hear something that you needed to hear, and it'll help you. That's all we're about here, is, ladies and gentlemen, is just having a better today and a better tomorrow. So, getting right off with it, today's quote is going to start off with, you can either be a host to God or a hostage to your ego. It's your call, by Wayne Dyer. He's a very powerful motivational speaker. He wrote a lot of books. I would highly recommend checking him out. But let's go ahead and get started, man, because this is a good one. So today's video, oh, hey, what's going on? So today's video is called, so where you going? That's so bad. That's so bad. It's so bad it's good. But where you going? You know what I'm saying? So where you going? No, where you going? So I want to do this one based on something that happened to me in the past couple days. As you guys know, I've been trying to find myself a nice little home for my real estate license, for my brokerage. And in that process, there was a company that I knew I should have gone with from the start, not because the other company wasn't great, but because that's where my heart was, in that company. I really enjoyed it. I love the people, but I didn't feel like I was getting enough from them. And so I was about to miss out on an opportunity to do something really great with them because of, guess what? My dadgum ego was going to show its face. He is going to pop on up and he's going to say hello and all the other stuff in between. And I realized, and I had a conversation with somebody, and I was like, and I was telling them what I wanted and what I needed and why I had made that decision. And I said, you know what, that's my ego show. And she goes, you're 100% right. And as soon as she acknowledged the fact that that was a true statement, I immediately said, okay, wait a second. I need to rethink where I'm going with this. So I think sometimes we forget that the ego in itself is not necessarily a positive thing that's going to help you. That's why the first quote I said, you can either be a vessel or a host, or you can let me go back to it because it's a pretty powerful post, or a hostage to your ego. Now, the reason I picked that exact quote is because it actually shows you something, that the ego itself is not you. So you can't be a hostage to yourself, but you can be a hostage to your ego, because the ego is not you. The ego is who you think you are. Now, sometimes we get ego confused with self-confidence, and that's not the case. Ego it can be a poison in us that allows us to block out some really great things because we already know the answer. Ego can create jealousy, it can create envy, it can create self-sabotage. We'd rather the ship go down than to work with somebody else to fix the hole. It creates that rigidity where we don't want to, no, I'm not going to do it. But you know what's the right answer. It also, it might cause you to try to do everything yourself, and you don't need people, or no, I don't need you, or take you to a level where things you're not working well with others. You're creating, you're destroying relationships, or, it's going to be what's going to keep you going even when you know you're wrong. It's going to keep you closed off. These different things that the ego produces is not producing the positive results that you want in your life. It didn't for me. I almost missed out on a really great opportunity. And so by talking it out and realizing, wait a second, I'm not showing up. My ego just did. I was able to make a better decision. So now I have, I picked my home for where my brokerage is. My license is going to hang right now, my brokerage. And so what I want you guys to think about is that ego is not the same as self-confidence. Ego is not the same as, getting what you deserve because you are who you are, your basic rights as a person. Ego is what takes you a step further, that, it destroys good things that might come your way because you already know the answer. How many times have you already knew the answer, so you didn't give anything else a chance? You automatically knew what was going on. Ego is not of you, and it wants to distinguish itself from you because it knows it's not you. So ego gets really big when it feels you're getting weak. Ego shows because it wants to make sure that, oh, I know who I am. Oh, I'm fantastic. I'm me. That's when ego pops up. Okay. And ego can be our toughest judge, or it can be our biggest advocate. But at the same time, it's usually not going to bring us forward. And it's not about confidence. Ego is a destructive path. Okay. Let's see, here we go. So my question here is, that's why I asked, So where are you going? Is because I want to ask you a question. Like when you're making your decisions in life, whether it be your next boyfriend or your next girlfriend, whether it be, to take a job or take an opportunity, to let down your guard, to let somebody in your heart, all these things, who's leading you? Are you leading you? Are you letting, for those of you who believe in God like myself, are you letting God lead you? Or are you assuming that you're leading, but in actually you've gotten so rigid in your ways that it's actually your ego that's leading you? Because we tend to block people. When ego goes up, we already know, so there's no need for you to come around me. There's no need for you to help me out with my situation. There's no need for you to be here because I already know the answer. I already got the solution. Oh, I can do it myself. How many times have you ever said that as a kid? I mean, you see ego flare up as children when you're little bitties and they don't know it, and you're trying to help them, and they go, "No, I can do it myself." As soon as you hear that, what you're hearing is a child telling you, not necessarily confidence, that they don't need you, that the ego is showing. That's their ego, but they don't know that. So, we have to imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. We have many self-images of the world, different situations that I'm not. Oh, I don't eat pickles. Oh, I do eat pickles. Oh, I don't want to run that. Oh, I can't swim. We have many different images of ourselves that we made up, and we always want to prove these images to be true. That's where the ego shows up, right? We're trying to prove that, oh, I'm better than this, or I'm worse than this, or I'm not this, or I am this. That's when ego proves itself, because we have to show. But when we realize that the ego is not us, and we realize that the ego is just something there to help us create this false personification that we think we are, and as soon as you let that go, you'll be able to create a whole different version. You'll show up. When ego disappears, you show up. And I'll explain to you that in a second. Because the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what you think and what you feel, your personal beliefs will back that up. So all the different self-images of yourself that you have, your personal beliefs will back that up, right? And who you believe you are is consistently setting a standard for what you allow in your life. Now, the question is, are you doing that to remove people? And you understand, me, I'm all about removing people from your life who serve no purpose. But are you removing people because you have an ego and you already know, and you already assume that you know? Or are you keeping people in your life that don't need to be there, etc.? But the ego shows up, and all of a sudden, now you're making decisions based on feelings, or making decisions based on you not wanting to seem wrong. What's wrong with seeming wrong? It's okay to be wrong every once in a while. Actually, I'll tell you the truth. I was wrong. I thought I was wrong once, but it turns out it was a mistake, so it's okay. But, ladies and gentlemen, all I want to say to you is this. When the ego shows, you disappear. There's a difference between you. You are not your ego, and your ego is not you. When you're able to let go of your ego and go to a place of just wholeheartedly being, you start to see that what the walls and the pieces of your puzzle that you put up to show who you are, or to show others who you are, will disappear. And so I have one more picture I want to show you, ladies and gentlemen, and this will be the last thing here, is that this quote right here is that sometimes it's hard to open your hand, but you need to. See, the ego's dragging you down. If you don't let go of that ego in your hand, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna fall, because you only have so much strength to keep yourself up. That's what the picture's showing, is that the ego's heavy. It's not light, and it gets bigger. I don't know how it gets bigger, but it does. And if you don't let go of the ego, if we don't let go of the ego, it can drag us down to our doom, where nobody is, where we don't have any relationships, where nobody appreciates us, where we don't appreciate us. And then all of a sudden depression kicks in. Well, you dismissed everybody and everything, all the opportunities that should come your way, because we let ego take control. But there's a hand up top reaching for you, and you can reach up and grab that hand, but you have to let go of your ego first. And I just wanted to share that with you guys and gals. I just wanted you to understand that ego is a prison that you lock yourself into. But it doesn't have to be, because you lock the door, which means you have the key. You just got to tell ego it's time to move on. Tell ego you're done playing games with him and her, and it's time for them to move on and show your true self. I look forward to meeting you, the non-ego you. I look forward to that person, because that person is going to allow opportunities to come in. They're not going to block it. They're not going to be jealous of other people. I get jealous of other people. Like when I see other people's videos get so many more hits and likes and comments than mine, I kind of get jealous sometimes. But then as soon as I feel that, I say, okay, wait a second. That's my ego showing, and I need to let that go. And I'm like, you know what? Congratulations. But if you allow your ego to stay there, I could very easily burn all these relationships and barriers that could possibly be really beneficial. But I've got to be willing to understand what ego provides. Who's leading your ship? Who's driving your car? Is it the ego? That's why I asked you the question. So where are you going? Because you decide who is going to take you where. And the ego is not going to take you any place well, because the ego is not of you. So it's going to take you to places that it feels that you should go, not places that you need to go. And that's all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate and I love each and every single one of you. You know I do. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure speaking with you every day that I get a chance to get on here. And it's a blessing to be alive, to have another day. I thank God for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can be a vessel for greatness that God can pour into, or you can let the ego, which is not of you, let me put it back here. You can let the ego, which is not of you, call your shots and have you and hold you hostage. The funny thing about that is that if the ego is holding you hostage, it's still, your body's still moving. It's controlling all of your movements. So be a vessel, be open. Ladies and gentlemen, the difference between ego and non-ego is open and closed. Are you open to opportunities? Are you open to people? Are you open to love? Or are you too closed off to even give people a chance? That's all I got for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe and I love in each and every single one of you. I love you. Thank you for being here. Have a blessed day. It's cold outside for those people in the Midwest, and I want you to stay safe. Please be safe, and I'll talk to you tomorrow because I got some good stuff for tomorrow. I'm gonna finally do the color filter tomorrow. But anyways, I hope you like the new process. Up here in the corner, let me see if I can, I don't know if it's gonna show my mouse, but up here in the corner where this is, that it's a little bit weird, that's actually gonna show me where people are chatting. So if you decide to get on and chat, let me know. I've got the date and the name at the bottom. So I hope you enjoyed this, man. But